Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Can everyone hear me? If I can get a one in the chat, make sure y'all can hear me all right. I would appreciate it. If I can get a one in the chat, if y'all can hear me all right. Khan. All right. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Shabbarakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shamor Alathan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. This is the ISUPK's history class. We had ISUPK started in 1969. 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General Yohana. We are not associated with any other Israelite or Christian group. Like I said, tonight is the history class. We are going to get into the spirit of the prophets, as y'all can see by the title. We're going to be talking about one prophet in particular, one of my favorite prophets, to be honest, Elijah. We're going to get into the battle that he had and how that shook out. All right. Let's give some shout outs first. All right. All right. Officer Rashad's in the building. Trooper my Rib is in the building. And Trooper Kazak is in the building. All right. All right. We are going to get into it. Get into it. All right. So just asking, I like to know who's familiar with this battle? Who's familiar with the prophet Elijah and the battle that he had? I don't want to give y'all too much yet. I want to get some perspective on who's familiar. Let me get kind of lot. Who's familiar with the battle? Kind of lot. Who's familiar with the battle that Elijah had? All right. Y'all get down so somewhat. All right. All right. Who else? Who else got some perspective on it? Who's familiar? Kind of lot or somewhat. I'm not just standing refresh. I'm driving. Okay, no sweat, no sweat, trooper. All right, all right. We're gonna definitely get into it. All right. Got a good old note. All right, we're gonna get into it. All right. So this is we're gonna start in chapter 18 of First Kings. So for the book of First Kings, chapter 18. We're gonna start at verse 1, but there's a little bit of background. At this point, Elijah has come, the northern southern kingdom has already split. We've had a few um uh, kings so far in the northern kingdom. This is the current kingdom is King Salaki. The current king is King Ahab. Uh, King Ahab is married to Jezebel. Who's heard that name before? Who's familiar with Jezebel, or at least the name? Kind of like, and any. If you've heard of her, give me a little bit of what you heard. I'm assuming almost everybody is. Right, right, right. Exactly, exactly. Sister Nas also in the building. All right. So yeah, everybody. I mean, most of us probably heard of Jezebel. So she was I believe, a Phoenician woman. So she was a heathen. All right. And we're gonna get into. Uh, this is too. We're gonna get into some of this right now. All right. So at this point, yeah, this northern southern kingdom had already split, and uh, Elijah had prophesied that there was going to be a famine in the land. Okay, and that you all can go back. Chapter 17 gets into the details of that, and then chapter 18 is going to pick up. Granny used to call promiscuous women. Absolutely, absolutely. Jezebel was a good old insult, right? Good old insult. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's start at verse 1 again. This is First Kings chapter 18, verse 1. And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Most High came to Elijah in the third year. Con, wild woman, exactly. All of those things Jezebel has come to be synonymous with, right? So this is the third year. And again, um, Elijah had already prophesied that there was going to be a famine in the land for 3 years. So now we're at the third year of the famine, right? And it says, the Most High came to Elijah in the third year, saying, Go, show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. So again, Elijah been gone because he gave this prophecy. So he's been kind of missing for a minute. And King Ahab has been looking for him. All right. Verse 2 says, And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. Again, Samaria is the capital of the northern kingdom. This is before, the Israelites were sent out and replaced by all these other nations. All right. So he's coming back. He's coming to say, Hey, here I am. All right. Verse 3 And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now, at that point, Obadiah is just running everything for him, right? He's in charge, maybe the second in command type of situation, right? It says, Now Obadiah feared the Most High greatly. Now, this matters because at this point, and you're going to see this, get into some of this in the later in the chapters. At this point, uh, Ahab is just completely disregarded the law, statutes, and commandments. He is worshiping other gods. We're gonna get into specifically who, but but Obadiah actually still fears the Lord. Okay, verse 4 says, For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Most High." What does that mean? Cut off the prophets of the Most High. You can tell me what cut off means in this context. All right, got an answer. All right, who else want to give it a shot? Okay, got a couple answers. Anybody else want to give it a shot? All right, all right. Give Trooper Yagadar a hand. Killed. She was murdering the prophets of the Most High. Why? Because she again was a heathen with another god. All right. So she's taking all the prophets out. Okay. And it says, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, Shalaki of the Most High, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave. So when these brothers was getting taken out by Jezebel, Obadiah said, "No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to gather 100 of these prophets, and we're going to take them and hide them in these caves." He split them 50-50. And it goes on. It says, and fed them with bread and water. He was taking care of the Most High's prophets in a time that they were being completely wiped out. He was somewhat safe because he wasn't necessarily a prophet. He was the governor of the land. He was his next in charge. But he understood this woman is taking out my brothers, my family. These are Israelites. He's wiping them out. Not only the Israelites, they're prophets of the Lord. He's completely tearing them apart. Why was she tearing them apart? Why was she killing them? Kind of gave y'all the answer a second ago, but who can follow up with it? Why did she want to? Well, why was she killing the prophets of the Most High? Who can tell me? Right? Got an answer? Right? All right. Got a couple of answers. Somebody says you are close. You are close. But give Trooper Yagadah a hand. He was spot on because she worshipped Baal, not the Most High. So she didn't care about these prophets of the Most High because that's not that they didn't represent her God. They weren't there for her. All right. You definitely in the ballpark. You're definitely in the ballpark, sis. Now, who can give me a precept for this? Who can give me a precept for this situation? Even if you can't necessarily give me the actual scripture, who can give me the idea of what precept this could be related to? Who can give me a precept? Who wants to give it a shot? All right, Sister Tawana in the building. False gods. I don't know the actual precept. All right, no worries. No sweat. Let's see. The Trooper Yagadar said Exodus 20 and 30. Let's go there and see what that is real quick. It's like 20 and 3. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Khan. Khan, that's in line. That's in line. I was thinking of something a little different. Let's try. Let's see. So we go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. It says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Meaning what? Don't marry these other nations. Don't get involved with these other nations. Don't give your sons to these don't give your daughters to the sons of these other nations, and don't allow your sons to take women from these other nations. Why? Why was that the instruction given? Why was that the law given? Why is it that we are not to intermarry with these other nations? Not equally yoked. Not quite. You close. You close. Because they can't really be equally. So other nations can't be equally yoked with the Most High because the Most High has no interest in these other nations, right? Should be Yagadah. You right there. You right there, Trooper. I want you to just finish the thought. You gave me the first part, but finish the thought for me. There you go. Trooper Kazakia hit it on the nail. I see your precept, Trooper Yagadah. There we go. Exactly. Trooper Kazakia. They will cause us to serve other gods, Trooper Yagadah. They will turn away our heart from serving the Most High. Khan, you're both absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I see your precept, Troop. I'm going to pull that as soon as I read the next verse of the previous precept, right? So, verse 4, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 4, they will turn away thy son from following me, and they may serve other gods. Exactly what it is. Exact precept, right? And that's exactly what happened. We'll get into it with Trooper Yagadar's precept. Absolutely. I keep disappearing on this camera. I guess we're gonna make it happen. Um, it says, "So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly." So this is the whole reason why we're not supposed to do it. We're not supposed to marry these other nations. We're not supposed to intermarry with these other nations. That's it. Because and we're going to see it in this particular in First Kings. What we tend to do, and it's happening here too, right? We get involved with these other nations, and then we leave the Most High. We turn our backs on the Most High. We start worshiping everything else that whoever we're involved in worships. That's what happens. So if you man, you get involved with a woman that I don't know practices Buddhism, and then next thing you know, you practicing Buddhism. Same with Islam. Same with Christianity. Same with all of them. We get involved with these other nations, and then we end up accepting their way of life, their culture, and their practices instead of them accepting ours. Now, the other reality is, for the most, of us Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we sleep. We still trying to wake them all up. So we don't even really have a culture. which is also part of the reason why nowadays we just go with any other culture that there is, because we don't know what ours is, which is why we're out here trying to wake everybody up, which is why people need to stay in these classes so they can learn what our culture is and be firm in it. And that way you won't sway. All right. All right. So let's pull a precept that Trooper Yagada put out there. It's First Kings chapter 16, verse 31. It's an excellent precept. It says, and it came to pass, if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took, so like that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. So very clearly, he took on a wife, another nation, whatever her God was, he said, that's what we're going to do. And this is the king of the northern kingdom. All right. So clearly that's the situation we're in, okay? So let's go back to chapter 18, First Kings. We're going to go to verse 7. And some of this I just want to share with y'all because these are real people. These are real situations, right? Sometimes I think, between the Christian church and people not understanding the Bible, we miss that these were real people, right? We miss that this stuff actually happened. These some real conversations, these some real reactions that people were having. So, chapter 7, I'm Salakia, verse 7 says, and as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him. Right now, what had happened was the king, and this is in the verses in between. King Ahab had told Obadiah, "Hey, we got a famine. Let's go try to take care of these animals. Let's split the kingdom. You take one half, I'll take the other." Right. But it says when he was on his way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him. Now, in this context, it means he like kind of looked at him. You might see somebody you'd be like, "No, you look familiar," right? That's what that context is. You can look the term up in the concordance. If anybody got a question about where to find it, I can get it for you. But yeah, that's what that meant. He kind of looking at him like, man, you look familiar, right? And it says he fell on his face and said, art thou that my Lord Elijah? Like, is that you? Is that you, Elijah? Verse 8. And he answered him, I am. Go and tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And again, well, we're going to. But the long and short of it is, King Ahab had been looking for Elijah. All right. So now he's telling his servant, hey, go get him. Tell your king I'm here. Right. Verse 8. Oh, Salaki. Verse 9. And he said, what, have I sinned? That thou wouldest deliver thy servant unto the hand of Ahab to slay me? He's like, wait a minute. What, did I do something wrong? Because you sending me to get killed. Kind of don't make sense right now, right? Let's keep going. Verse 10 says, as the Most High thy power liveth, there is no nation or kingdom, whether my Lord hath not sent to seek thee. Meaning, he's been looking for you everywhere. There is no nation or kingdom that my Lord has not sent to seek thee. And clearly he hadn't found him, right? It says, and when they said he is not here, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation that they found thee not. Man promise. All right, y'all ain't find him. Okay. All right. Verse 11, and now thou sayest, go, tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. He said, and now you tell me after all that, he been looking all over the planet for you, right? I'm exaggerating, obviously. But he been looking everywhere for you. Nobody found you. You couldn't be found. And now you just mean like, yeah, go tell them I'm here. Verse 12. This is Obadiah speaking now. He said, and it shall come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit of the Most High shall carry thee whither I know not. What is he saying? Who can tell me what he's saying right now? Who can tell me what Obadiah is saying right there when he's talking to Elijah? And it shall come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee. All right. Got an answer? Who else want to give it a shot? All right, for the sake of time, give Trooper Yagada a hand. Absolutely. He's scared he's going to leave. Don't leave him hanging. He said, as soon as I walk away, the Spirit of the Lord going to send you somewhere else. I don't know where you're going, right? Uh-oh. Hold on. What is that? Bear with me, y'all. Come on. Hey, I don't know where you're going, right? When I come and tell Ahab, and he cannot find thee, he shall slay me. So when I'm telling him, hey, you here, and then we come back looking for you and you gone, he's gonna kill me, man. He's been looking everywhere for you. But he goes on and he says, but I, thy servant, fear the Most High from thy youth. And then he tells him, like, because I'm sure you heard what I did. I hope you heard what I did for these the prophets. Like I'm on the Most High side, but you trying to get me killed, man. You trying to get me killed out here with this dude. Let's skip down to verse 15. It says, and Elijah said, as the Most High of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, meaning, well, I'm here, right? I will surely show myself unto him today. So just let him know, man. I feel you, but listen, the Most High sent me. I'm gonna show myself to him today. Verse 16. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, this is verse 17, and it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Elijah said, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? Is it you that's been causing all this trouble in Israel? That's you, right? Verse 18, and he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house. What does that mean? I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house. You can tell me what that means. I'm not troubled, Israel, but thou in thy father's house. All right. I'm not the problem, but you, Ahab, are the problem for Israel. Okay. Right. And he's a problem because he's worshiping Baal. Could also mean, look, man, I Ahab's father being Satan. Khan. Ahab's father being Baal, or the pagan god. Exactly. It's also on some, man, I ain't no trouble for Israel. I might be trouble for you and your father's house, though. I'm not trouble for Israel, but thou and thy father's house. It goes on. It says, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Most High, and thou hast followed Baal. Meaning the problem is, as True Yagadar said, the real problem is you're out here following, not following the law, statutes, and commandments, and now you following this other God. I'm not the problem for Israel. You are. Hey, shalom, brother. Super Shamaga Bar in the building. Yeah, but I'm not just saying, no, that's not me. That's you, bro. You the one out here wilding. You the one out here praising other, worshiping other gods, not following the law, statutes, and commandments. Verse 19. This is Elijah talking. He says, now therefore send and gather me all Israel unto Mount Carmel. Get everybody. Get everybody. Bring all of Israel to Mount Carmel. Because you're the problem. So bring everybody. And what's going to happen? It says, and the prophets of Baal, 450, and the prophets of the groves, 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. Go get all of Israel and all your fake prophets for your false God. Go get everyone, because it's going down. Elijah came, got word from the Lord, got word from the Most High. Go, present yourself. All right, because it's going down. It's been 3 years. The famine was supposed to last 3 years. Some rain is coming, but it's going down first. We got a situation we got to take care of because you, Ahab, have decided you're not following the law, statutes, and commandments, and now you got everybody worshiping Baal. That's a problem, and we about to solve it. That's how this is going down. All right, let's skip to verse 21. It says, and Elijah came unto all the people and said, and he's talking to the people now. Now we have Mount Carmel, everybody's there. He's talking to Israel. How long have ye between two opinions? What does that mean? How long have ye between two opinions? What are the two opinions? What are the two opinions he's referencing right here? Okay. All right. I see an answer. Who else wanted to give it a shot? All right. Give Trooper Yagadar a hand. That is exactly right. Now, we got a precept for it. There's a precept for this. What's the precept for being indecisive? That's Trooper Yagadar put. Anybody want to give it a shot? Give Trooper Yagadar a hand. Absolutely. Book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 16. It reads, so then, because thou art lukewarm, this is Christ talking, because thou art lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spew thee out of my mouth. We need to be one way or another. Make a decision. Make a decision and then stand by your decision. You made it. But what you had in this case was Israel toggling back and forth. They're going back and forth between, oh, we worship the Most High. No, we worship Baal. No, we worship the Most High. No, we worship Baal. And that's why Elijah asked me, said, Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? How long are you going to do this? And the verse goes on. It says, if the Most High be power, follow him. If you believe the Most High to be the power, then follow him. Make a decision. But if Baal, then follow him. Make a decision, man. All this back and forth, stop it. Because as Christ said, that's a lukewarm attitude. He will spew you out of his mouth. Come on, man. Either you on board or you not. Either we rolling or we not. How about this? Either you're gonna get on all black or you're not. Either you're gonna follow the law, statutes, and commandments, or you're not. Make a decision and then stick by it. Scripture say, "Let your yea be yea, let your nay be nay." It's very simple, but you can't look all this back and forth, man. Stop, right? And the people answered not a word. He asked them flat out, hey man, what y'all gonna do? How long y'all gonna go back and forth like that? They said nothing. When you make somebody, hey, look, give somebody an ultimatum, what you gonna do? Most often it's hard for them. Uh, 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 make a decision, man. Let's keep going. Verse 22 says, then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Most High. He said, I'm the only prophet left because he's out here standing. Let's go. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. I'm out here by myself against these 450 of Baal's prophets. And y'all can't make a decision? If you want to choose Baal, go ahead. I'm out here by myself with the Most High. That's what he's telling them right now. So now it goes down. Now we're getting into the actual battle, right? Verse 23 says, let them therefore give us 2 bullocks. What's a bullock? Who knows? Who can tell me what a bullock is? Who can tell me what a bullock is? A bullock. All right, close, close, close. Not a ram, but just a young bull, right? Young male cow, right? Right. You got it. You got it. All right. So he said, bring us 2 bullocks and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, right? And cut it in pieces and lay it on wood and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood and put no fire under it. What is this describing? Who can tell me what this is describing? This process is I'm gonna leave it there. Who can tell me what this is describing? Who got an idea? Conjure. Oh, I see you, sister. Now, let me read the scripture again. I'm gonna ask you what it's describing. All right. He said, "Let them forgive us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it." What is all of this describing? Got another answer? All right. Another way to ask it is, what is this in preparation for? Give sister another chance before we. A young bull. Okay, yes, a young bull is a bullock. Absolutely, sis. Come. But this process is the preparation for an offering, or as Trooper Yagadar described it, it's about to go down. Sacrifice to the most Khan. That is what's about to happen here. Khan. Burnt offerings. Khan. And the interesting piece of this, you're absolutely right, sis. This is a burnt offering sacrifice that they're preparing for. But it was said, don't put any fire under either one, meaning put no fire on this. You just you prep your bull, put the wood up there, do all of that, and leave it like it is. Don't put any fire to it. All right? And that's going to be key. We're going to see as we go on. All right? Verse 24. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Most High. And the power that answereth by fire, let him be God. So this is it. This is the test. This was about to happen. You got your bull, I got mine. You dress your bull out, mean cut them up, get them all prepared. I'm going to do the same thing to mine. Now, I'm going to give you the first chance, too. You call on your gods first. And then I'm going to call on mine, and we're going to see what happens. But whoever answers, that's going to be the decision. How about that? So this is Elijah coming in. Now, mind you, again, it's not like I always look. This whole thing is just it's kind of raw to me. Because again, Elijah had already told him, look, man, you're gonna have a famine for 3 years. And Elijah dips off. Ahab been looking for him for the past 3 years. Most High says, all right, go ahead. Go back and show yourself. Who comes to fire without our own effort? I'm not sure what you mean, sis. Who comes to fire without our own efforts? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, give me a little more on that. I'm not sure what you're saying. Um, but yeah, so it's been 3 years. He comes back. I'm back. And now we got a problem. Time to address this problem, right? So y'all do what y'all do. It's 450 of y'all. It's just me. It's just me out here. Get your bull. I get mine. We'll prep, and whoever shows up, that'll be the guy. Now, really, this whole discussion is really a presentation, really to Israel, not so much the prophets of Baal, because he doesn't care. He's really talking to Israel because, again, make a choice, make a decision. God, God, this is the part I remember about Elijah. He had a mouthpiece. God, we're going to get into it. God. So, yeah, it's what he's telling them. Y'all do you. Now, again, but he's talking really to the people. Whoever God shows up, that's who's going to be God. How about that? Right? And it said, and all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. Now, mind you, he told asked him up front, how long y'all gonna go back and forth with this? Ain't nobody say a word. Now we got this test. Now we got this competition. Whoever wins, that's gonna be God. Everybody goes, yeah, okay, cool, we'll go with that. Now that's us all day. That's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians all day. We always want to sign. We always want to. You got to show us something. All of us claim we from the Show Me State. We'll go left and right everywhere else. But, oh, you want us to make a decision? Well, you got to prove it then. It is well spoken. Y'all supposed to be fine. I mean, y'all. We supposed to be following the law, statutes, and commandments regardless. We supposed to be following the law, statutes, commandments anyway. But yet all of this, and if you think about it, this is First Kings, meaning this Israel and had, they came out of Egypt. They done been blessed. They've been doing all these things. They even want most time they even want to give them kings. Well, you know what? Fine, you can have a king anyway. All of this, and you know what, man? I don't know. We got to see where this fire gonna come from before we go back and following law, statutes, and commandments. I don't know about all that. It's crazy. Let's keep going though. Verse 25. It's like Verse 25. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your God, but put no fire under. So, hey, that's a bunch of y'all. Y'all go first. Knock yourself out, man. Y'all get to go first. But again, put no fire under. Just call on your God. All 450 of y'all. Knock yourself out. Verse 26. And they took under the bullock which was given them. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and they called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon. They were going for hours at this point. They calling on Baal. Hours have gone by. Think about think about y'all seen them different Christian like services and stuff where they be trying to heal everybody. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Think about somebody doing that and nothing happened. And they just keep trying for hours and hours. Now we all know most of the people got set up stuff anyway. You see anybody getting healed in the Christian church, it's probably a setup. Um, they have situations where they find out, stuff about people and then knock them out. People be laid out, right? It's always so hilarious to me. But think about all of that happening, right? And nobody moving. The pastor going around almost stealing on folks, trying to get them to drop, and they just like, nah. And then continuing for hours, hours and hours. That's hilarious, right? They said they called on them of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, "O Baal, hear us." But there was no voice, nor any that answered. Nothing. Nothing happened. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. What does that mean? What just happened? Might as well, true, but nah, not quite. That was funny. They leaped up on the altar, though. What does that mean? What happened? We'll give it a shot. Come on. I'm gonna help y'all out. So, this is a whole situation, right? So you got the bull. It's all cut up. You got the wood around it, right? It's just sitting there. They're supposed to be calling on their God. Nothing happens. They've been calling on them for hours at this point. And then they leaped on the altar. Who can tell me what that is? All right, for the sake of time, I'll give it to y'all. Basically, they got frustrated and started jumping on them. They just got upset. They've been doing this for hours at this point. They leaped on the altar. They just jumped on it. We're gonna get into it's gonna be a little clear in a minute. Yeah, not quite. I mean, sort of, but not quite. I mean, you're gonna see some begging in a minute. You're gonna see some. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real intense in a minute. So yeah, he leaped on the altar which was made, right? And it came to pass at noon. Here you go. It's one of my favorite parts. And listen, before I even read this, I've had discussions where people, why y'all when y'all go out on the street, why do y'all talk like that? It's so mean. It's so harsh. I had people, you can catch more. You can catch more. What's the term? Y'all probably heard it. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. You know people say that? I'm talking about why, it's so harsh. It's mean. It's this, that, and the third, right? Because when we out there on the corner and we trying to wake our folks up, yeah, we speak with authority and assertiveness, and it's again an attempt to wake our people up and understand this is not. Look, you can't be lukewarm. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. Excuse me, and make the one you're gonna make. Like it. Make the one you're gonna make, but just make a decision, right? So again, it says, and it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, "Cry aloud, yell louder." You know what I mean? You're not, maybe you're not yelling loud enough. He goes on, for he is a God. So either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he's sleeping. What does peradventure mean? That's a great word. Who can tell me what peradventure means? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Peradventure. What does peradventure mean? Perhaps or maybe. God, the truth of your darn hand. That's exactly what he means. Maybe he's asleep, man. Maybe your God is asleep and neat slack, and it goes on and must be awake. This is Elijah talking trash. This is Elijah not being nice. This is Elijah being mean. It's Elijah clowning these people. Hey man, maybe your God is asleep. Maybe he's talking to something. He's clearly busy. Maybe he's on a trip. Maybe he's asleep because he's clearly not answering you. This is Elijah talking trash. All right. Verse 28. Con. Rude in speech. Absolutely. Absolutely. Con. That's exactly, and that is the spirit of the prophets of the Most High. Rude in speech. But we know what we're talking about. We're trying to wake people up, and it's not, listen, you need to make a decision. Stop being lukewarm. And sometimes you got to hit them with it hard. It is what it is. But again, there's no cowards. There's no excuses in here. And because of that, when you hear the word of the Most High, hey, listen. You gonna hear it or not? How long you gonna go back and forth between these opinions? Is it the Most High or is it Baal? What you doing? Is it Christianity? Or do you realize you're an Israelite and you need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments and get into the ISUPK? Is it, no, I'm not a Christian, but I'm not with an organization either. Then you're not in it. You're not an Israelite. You're not in the truth unless you're in here. So even if you understand that you're an Israelite, but you ain't got in your all black, started your 90 days, got your Hebrew name, then no, you're not in the truth. You're lukewarm. I think the Most High admitted me. I'll be the first to admit it took me a minute. Wish I'd have done it sooner. But as I was told, it's a process. But at the same time, somebody asks you the question, because this is where we are. Make a decision. Con, absolutely. What kills me about Christianity, they believe they can coexist as that coexist BS. Everybody is right, no one is wrong. Con, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And how is that at all possible? I don't know how at all you can claim to believe in the Bible and believe in Christ and believe in the Most High and all that stuff that the Christian church said, but not speak out against pedophilia, not speak out against homosexuality, not understand that you got to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, other than make sure you pay tithe. Come on. It's absolute insanity. Or as we said before, it's a strong delusion. This stuff makes no sense when folks are indoctrinated and they can't hear the truth. So they continue, or even some of us do hear the truth, but we still stay lukewarm. We still go back and forth. Can't do it. All right, let's keep going. Uh, verse 28. And they cried aloud. They took his advice. He said, cry louder. Maybe he can't hear you, right? Maybe he's asleep. They cried aloud. Did exactly what he said. Now, and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets. A lancet is a small knife, almost like a paring knife type thing. But these jokers started cutting themselves. It got real, escalated quickly. Got real serious real quick. Then it already jumped on the altar. Then started yelling louder. None of this is working. These jokers pull out knives and start slicing and dicing themselves. Now again, but Israel didn't know which side they wanted to be on. Elijah asked them, how long you gonna go between two opinions? They were just quiet. I don't know what to say. It says till the blood gushed out upon them. They are an absolute bloody mess because they are calling on their God and nothing's happening. I think of it like, I mean, hey, no disrespect what anybody did, but them sororities and those well, more so fraternities for brothers. Listen, hey, we might have to beat you up. It's almost like getting jumped into a gang, which also doesn't make sense. It's craziness. But there also what's something else, and this was when I heard this, I was like, man, y'all are completely crazy. What's something else that they do in fraternities? And brothers be so proud when it's done to them. Think about what we were just reading. They slicing and dicing themselves. What's something that these fraternities do that is absolute insanity? Thank you. Absolutely. Give Trooper Yagadar a hand. Branding. Listen, the first time I saw a brother, I mean, people of color, we keloid terrible too. The first time I saw a brother picking a scab and it was raised about that high off his arm, and I'm like, what are you doing? What is that? Oh, I got branded. What? You did that voluntarily? Like I could not wrap my head around that. You voluntarily got branded. Now, mind you, there are records of our people being branded when we were enslaved, when we were, in uh, bondmen, bond women, and shackles. We were branded for different reasons. One, sometimes it was ownership, sometimes it was to note that we were runaways. And now you're volunteering yourself to be branded for a Greek organization? Like none of this makes sense. But this is a sign of us being a destroyed people. We don't have an identity, or most of us don't realize what our identity is. So we go into all these different things. When the reality is, the Bible is our culture. And we have to wake our people up so they get it, so they see it. Salaki, hold on one second. Salaki, you mean when they take the whips and be whipping themselves? Is that what you're talking about? When you say the Roman Catholics got that stupid mess? Okay, actually, I believe so. That's their that flogging themselves stuff. That my understanding, and I have to ask Officer Yarash and Captain Natazak and Shah. My understanding is that's them simulating when Christ was whipped in their mind. Some weird ass, I mean, Salaki, for some strange reason. Um, yeah, when they're whipping themselves, my understanding is that's them simulating when Christ was whipped. But again, to your point though, again, we know Christianity is pagan beliefs. So it's not a far-fetched idea to think that they probably doing this because that's what pagans do. That's what these pagans do. They were cutting themselves and everything else. But this is nowhere near obviously what Israelites should be doing. Absolutely not. But yeah. All right, so let's keep going. Um, verse 29. And it came to pass when midday had passed. Now we're past midday now. We started off in the morning. We hit noon. Now we past midday. And they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice. Now we're in the evening now. These jokers have been rolling all day long. They have been praising their God. They have yelled. They done jumped on the altar and tore it down. They done started cutting themselves. All of this, and they still going. Now it's the evening time. Says, and there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. Nothing happened. 450 prophets. These jokers went all day. Sun up to sun down, basically. Nothing happened. Let's lock it. Verse 30. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. Now he's talking to Israel now. Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Most High that was broken down. Again, that's how you know these jokers just jumped on it out of frustration. He had to repair the altar because now it's his turn, right? Verse 31. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob. We know it, 12 tribes of Israel, he found 12 stones. All right. Unto whom the word of the Most High came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. Meaning, he got these stones for the 12 sons of Jacob because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and that's where our nation comes from. Right? So it's symbolic. Verse 32. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Most High. And he made a trench about the altar. What's a trench? You know what a trench is. What does that mean? What's this trench? Who else want to give it a shot other than Trooper Yagadan? Because he is getting it in. Look, he got it in again. Who else want to give it a shot? Anybody else want to take a shot? There we go. Your sister Anah hand. Absolutely. It's a ditch. Trooper Yagadan hand. Absolutely. Kind. It's a ditch, right? So they dig a ditch around the altar, right? As great as would contain 2 measures of seeds. It's a whole bunch. I mean, it's a pretty big ditch, right? Not quite yet, ma'am. My rib is getting ahead of the story. Almost. You're getting ahead of the story. All right. Verse 33 says that he put the wood in order. Right. Much better answer, Sister Anna. Good job. Good job recognizing it. All right. Verse 33. And he put the wood in order and cut the bullock in pieces and laid him on the wood, meaning the bull, right? Laid him on the wood. Then he told him and said, fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. So now he's giving them instructions. Drench this. Get 4 barrels of water and pour it all over this altar. I just put the altar there. I got the stones. I got the wood. The bullock is there. Pour water all over it. Right? Verse 34. And he said, do it a second time. Pour another 4 barrels of water all over it. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. So now this is 12 barrels of water poured all over the sacrifice, right? Said, and the water ran about the altar and filled the trench with water. Now I'm going to show it. Right. Made a little with the water. It was basically like a little moat, you know. around the altar. It's drenched with water. It's surrounded by water. Right? Now, who remembers what the challenge was? Who remembers what the challenge was? Who remembers what the challenge was? They were going to have this challenge, right? They were going to both set these altars up. They were going to both call on their God. And what was to happen in order to determine who was the real God and who was the fake God? All right, I got an answer. Kai got another answer. All right. My rib hand, fire from your God. Chupa Yagadar hand. Who can bring fire? Exactly. So that was the challenge. Now, Elijah set this up though. He let them do their thing. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Y'all can go first. Y'all can go all day long. You from sun up to sundown. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Oh, it's my turn. No problem. I'm gonna set it up. I want y'all to bring 12 barrels of water. Since this is about a fire challenge, I want you to go ahead and bring 12 barrels of water. Drench it. Because I'm gonna show y'all what the most high my power does. Go ahead. The most high Israel's power does. Drench it with water, right? Verse 36 says, and it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel. This is the most high power. Again, this Bible, this book is for Israel. This is the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. No other nation, no other people. Right? Let it be known this day, thou art power in Israel. Hey, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let everybody understand what this means. Y'all had all day, no problem. Now it's my turn. I drenched it. I'm calling on the power of my people, the Most High God, our people, our God. That's who he's calling on. And let it be known, right? And that I am thy servant. There's no question. Let everybody understand. Khan says, absolutely. Speaks to the strength of the Most High with the faith of one man against over 450 so-called believers of their false God. Exactly. He's standing there by himself against 450 prophets of Baal, which means nothing. And he's in the northern kingdom of Israel with a king who has taken a heathen wife and turned his back on the Most High power. Turn his back on the Lord. He came back after 3 years. Hey man, you about to have a famine, bro. It's gonna be terrible for you. Comes back after 3 years. I'm here. Most High said going back. All right, I'm back. And you've been a problem for Israel, Ahab. Go get all your folks. Go get all your wife's prophets, right? Go get all of them. Matter of fact, go get all of Israel too, because we about to put this all to the test. Since don't nobody know what they want to worship, since don't nobody want to make a decision, we're gonna see what happens. All right. Uh, and I am thy servant, right? Because again, he came against all these odds. Because the Most High sent him. Because the Most High said go. He said okay. Even when Obadiah said, "Hey man, look, you might disappear, dog. I can't be going back telling Ahab you here. He been looking for you for 3 years. You try to get me killed, man. Nah, I'm gonna be here. Why? Because the Most High sent him. What is that? I see the fire. What's the first? Is that supposed to be a bull? Like a bear. I'm not sure what you said. Um, made me lose my whole train of thought with that. Salaki. Hold on 1 second. Right, but I mean, Ahab, not Ahab. Elijah was, he was off the grid for a few years, but he went back when the Most High sent him, right? And that's just like, listen, ISUPK, you don't have to believe, you don't have to believe, you don't have to believe that the Most High is with us. You don't have to believe. It makes me no difference. It makes nobody in this school a difference. The reality is the Most High is with us. How do we know that? Listen, I've seen captains, uh, generals, even some officers get into these debates with people, get into these discussions with people. We never lose. We never lose. Nobody has, I've never seen anybody stump somebody in the ISUPK. I've never seen somebody prove the Bible wrong as far as what's taught in this school. Because the Most High is with us. Just like we went to North Carolina for the Passover, right? There was this whole to do about it. People on the news talking about what's a hate group coming, and there's going to be protests, and there's going to be this, that, and the third. And you know what happened? Nothing but the Passover. That's what happened. Nobody showed up other than ISUPK, and we had the Passover because the Lord was with us. The Lord is with us, and that's how you know. And that's why when Elijah came back, hey, he was good. I know he's looking for me. Go and get him. Ahab comes up. Okay, cool. Go and get all your folks. Go get Israel too. All right, let's keep going. Uh, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Meaning, this whole thing was the Most High's plan. This is what this was. This is what Elijah's mission was. Go and make this happen. Go and prove. This is the Most High saying, go and prove to my people who I am. Because for some reason they got it confused again, Israel. Right? Salaki. Verse 37. Hear me, O Most High, hear me, that his people, that Salaki, that this people may know that thou art the Most High power. This is Elijah's prayer. Hear me. Hear me, Lord, that these people can understand that you are the most high power and that thou hast turned their heart back again. What does that mean? What does it mean that thou hast turned their heart back again? What does that mean? All right. All right. So you're in line. You're in line, right? Show them the truth so they can believe again. That's in the ballpark. But Trooper Yagadar got on the nail on the head. They have been convicted to follow the Most High's laws. I guess y'all saying the same thing though. Y'all saying the same thing. Yep. They're both on man. Absolutely. This process is being done so that Israel can understand and that they need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the prayer. Show them who you are. Show them that I'm your servant and everything I've done was by your word, so that they can get their stuff together and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Right, right. So they start following the law, statutes, and commandments. Exactly. It's just a nine. Absolutely. Uh, verse 38 says, Then the fire of the Most High fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stone, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. Right, right. We like children that continually need to be chastised and punished and reminded of what we should be doing versus what we choose to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on. Now, verse 38, though. Salaki. Verse 38. So it says, And the fire of the Most High fell. So we got results now. We got action, right? We've been, listen, the prophets have all been at this all day. Nothing. Nothing. All day. They didn't destroyed the altar. They didn't cut themselves. They're yelling and screaming. Everything's happening, right? Except fire. That's not happening. Elijah said, drench it with 12 barrels of water. Dig a trench. I want all the water there, right? He sends up his prayer, and the fire of the Most High fell. And it consumed the burnt sacrifice. What's consume mean? I want to make sure we get the perspective of what actually happened. What does it mean to consume? I can type right. Hmm. All right. All right. We got answers. Sister Tawana said to take over. Trooper Yagadar said to engulf totally. My rib said to engulf. All right. All right. I see one that I was looking for. I ain't sure yet. I want to give y'all a couple more seconds. Y'all all got, y'all all on it. Y'all all in the ballpark. Absolutely. All good answers. All good answers. Trooper Yagadar said to destroy. The first definition of consume is to do away with completely or destroy. Right? So it said, and consume the burnt sacrifice. God says, yeah, this was not a spark. This was serious. Okay? Because the burnt sacrifice was consumed, the wood was consumed, the stones, the dust, and it says it licked up the water that was in the trench. What does that mean? It licked up the water that was in the trench. What do I think that means? It licked up the water that was in the trench. All right. Y'all want to get Trooper Yagadar a hand, get my rib a hand. Exactly. The water was gone. The water was gone. The water was gone. Absolutely. Dried up. It was gone. Poof. Everything was destroyed. I don't like to say poof. That sounds like magic. It was gone. The fire came down and everything was consumed. Everything was destroyed. Right? Verse 39. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces. Because again, this whole thing was for the people of Israel, the children of Israel, at least the northern kingdom, right? Think about it. When he came to Ahab, first thing he said was, bring all the people to Mount Carmel and get your so-called prophets of Baal and the other prophets. But he wanted the people there. This was for the people so they could understand the concepts. It was gone. Exactly. Exactly. Says when the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, the Most High, He is the power. The Most High, He is the power. Exactly. This was a show of strength by the Most High that was undeniable. Undeniable. And now they got it, right? Now they understood. Okay, all right, we with the Most High. Forgive all. We were wrong. Because again, like hard-headed children, in one ear and out the other. And we all know this is how we are as a people. We get it for a minute, we get it for a second, we understand it for a short, and then we go back. And again, this is why we need to wake up and get in the ISUPK so we can learn how to stick with these laws, statutes, and commandments. So we can learn how to endure until the end. So we can learn how to have the discipline we need to study these laws. I'm still like not study, well, study too, but follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what's taught in the ISUPK, and this is what we need clearly. All right, verse 40. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, because now they're gonna say, you know what? The Most High is the power. The Most High is the power. No problem. Elijah said, take the prophets of Baal. Let not one of them escape. Take them all 450 of them. Make sure they're all accounted for. Take them. And they took them. And Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and slew them there. Damn right, sis. ISUPK teaches to stand the truth. Absolutely. Con. And so Elijah came and, after everything, y'all are back in line, kill them all. They got to go. They got to go. Now, the verse, it's like the chapter goes on to talk about how there was eventually some rain. And when you go into chapter 19, things get a little dicey again. It's a good book for everybody to be familiar with. But uh, hold on. Absolutely right, Trooper Jagadar. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Salaki, why we get motivated after Emmett Till, but then need a Trayvon Martin to remind us the white man, the devil, the Bible speaks of. Absolutely. Our problem is we are too short sighted. We are absolutely too short sighted. We do not have, the bulk of us don't have the discipline and the understanding that, again, as Captain Natazak and Shah says it all the time, life is about warfare. And these are war crimes that are committed against us on a regular basis. And we don't recognize it. So what happens is, to the trooper's point, we have an Emmett Till. We have, I mean, you could fast forward. We had all the so-called civil rights leaders. I mean, they were still Israel. They kill them all, and then we still trying to join with them. And then in more recent times, you had Trayvon Martin, and then we're upset about it for a while. And then you have an Alton Sterling, and then we're upset about it for a while. And then you have who else? Philando Castile, and then we're upset about it for a while. And then you have a who was a young brother, Tamir Rice, and then we're upset about it for a while. It goes over and over and over and over, and we just upset about it for a while. And then at the same time, we think to ourselves, well, it's not all of them. Some of them are good. Does it matter? And what I mean by that is, we're the ones dying. We're the ones being oppressed. We're the ones who are getting the L every time. So we have to understand it's not a function of whether some of them are good or not. Sure, you might have some among slavery that are cool, but this is nation against nation, and they're not our nation, and they know that we're not their nation. We don't know that we're not theirs. We think we're Americans. We think we're, African Americans and all this other stuff. No, we're not. We're captives in this kingdom. When we get back to following the law, statutes, and commandments and get the Most High back on our side, and we're able to demonstrate the power for the people, and the people can understand that they need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments so the Most High can be on our side, then we can have these type of things like happened in First Kings. Now, for the record, we're not advocating any violence. That's the Most High's job. That's up to him. But we got to get back to following these law, statutes, and commandments first. Let's continue to wake up our people, and over a long enough timeline, Revelations is just that. It's a prophecy. It's going to happen. You just need to decide whether you want to be on the side of the Most High or not. I suggest you come on in. All right, with that, that is my time. I say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh to the brothers, Yahweh Shemor Alathan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters, and Shalom Israel. Class dismissed.